had a banana. You don't want it out crazy the crazies all the time, because why? They'll think you are crazy. You just want to use it a little bit at a time. Okay, the plan now is to generate a put down. One put down. And please make it not in the form of a question, because we're sneaky people. We tend to ask put downs in the form of questions. We say, "Where'd you get that shirt?" See, what do I mean? We're not sure. What do we do with that? We say, "Oh, don't you like my shirt?" And wait and see. And then I might say, "Yeah, I like it. I'm just wondering where you got it." Or I might say, "No, I think it's ugly." Then we say, "Oh, thanks for telling me," or "rough," or whatever. So would you make a put down, and it doesn't have to be anything amazingly clever like, "Did your mother have any children that lived?" Or kids know these things. I mean, "You're so skinny you could hula hoop through a Cheerio." I mean, they have thousands of them. "When you were born, you were so ugly, they spanked your mother." That was one. What was the other one? When you were little, you were so ugly, they had to tie a pork chop around your neck so the dog would play with you, Just a simple put down, like, "You're ugly, you're fat, you're geeky, you smell," anything. Would you write one down on a little chunk of paper, please? We're talking up here about first graders. Can you teach this to first graders? Absolutely. She's saying that she has some little first grade kids that are fat. Other kids say things to them, they don't know what to say. She said, "What of these can I teach them?" Any one of them. Any one of them will work. You can bark. You can say, "It's good to know how you see it." You can say, "I know, aren't I just tons of fun?" Or whatever. Now, though, you want to be honest. If it hurts the little first grader and she can't say, "I know, aren't I tons of fun," you can teach her to say, "Hey, I need to let you know I'm really sensitive about that. That hurts me." You can teach them just to say, "That hurts me." Why does this work? Is it the motivation of the other kid? And this is really important. Is it the motivation of the other kid to hurt them? No. It's the motivation of the other kid to do what? Feel better about themselves. If I find out that I'm hurting you, I really haven't met my goal. I need to go somewhere where I can feel powerful about myself, and you've just made me feel worse about myself. That's why it's so effective. Who does this not work on? Psychopaths. Because they don't care if they've hurt you. What percentage of the population is psychopath? 1% or less. So it's going to work with most kids. Can you deliver it to 2 kids? You got a first grader. 2 kids are calling her fat. Can she say, "Ooh, that hurts me," to 2 kids? No. Remember, iMessage is one-on-one. If it's 2 kids, you say, "Good to know how you see it," or you bark and go off. But you don't let it hurt her. You teach her. Now, why is this so tough? Because is the little first grader at peace with being fat, or is she afraid about it? She's afraid about it. That's why it's so difficult. Now, we can do this change either the humanistic way, which is where we teach the kid not to be afraid, or we can do it behavioralistically, teach her what to say, and hope that through doing that she will become less afraid of being heavy. Is it going to be a lifetime challenge? How long have I been working in my life to become at peace with being overweight? In this society, how long? I'm moving to Jamaica. Did you know in Jamaica that we would all be too thin? Women would be, they're like, 400-pound women. I'm going there someday. It's just going to be heaven. Anyway, okay, now the plan, if you're willing to accept this, is to get up, and when I give you the signal, and roam around the room. And when I say now, stop and put down the person you're facing, that you're closest to. And while we roam around, say mingle, mingle, mingle. Not yet, not yet. Mingle, 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 mingle. I'm going to go now. Then stop and say to this person, "You're so ugly." But wink first, because we know we're just kidding, okay? Wink. "You're so ugly." Then I'm going to put on the overhead how to respond. So I'm going to put like neutral response. So you'll just say, "Thanks for telling me. I'll remember that. Good information." Then you put me down and you say, "Your hair looks gross." And I'll go, "That's good information." Then we'll mingle again. Mingle, mingle, mingle. I'll go, "Now, put the person down." I'm going to put up here iMessage. You're going to say, "You're ugly," and I say, "Ooh, that hurts me," or "I'm sensitive about that," and so on. Okay? Next time I'm going to put a negative assertion. "You're ugly." I say, "I know, aren't I though? I really look terrible today. Sometimes I look so bad." Sometimes is a good word. Sometimes I look great too though. But today, oh man, today, I'm embarrassed to be in public today. Okay. Mingle, mingle, mingle. This time we out crazy the crazies. Bark. I love you, man. I had a student working at the concessions in our school, student store. Some kid came up and said, I want to know where the Skittles are. He said, my dog has cancer. The kid said, yeah, but where's the Skittles? He goes, I think it's pancreatic cancer. The kid's like, but where's the Skittles? We're taking him to the vet today. He just didn't get it. Okay. Clear enough instructions? Yes. Ready? Mingle. Mingle, mingle.
Intellectually disabled and retarded. And they keep putting them down.
Isn't that pathetic?
That is really pathetic, but how does that work?
I'm having the question, is it okay to do this with kids? Absolutely. This is how I learned this. I began teaching them. I'm right-brained, so I started teaching them before I had all the information. And then that's how I learned all this. I refined it as I went along. I've taught kids first grade through adults, but I teach my seniors in psychology every year, and they say, why didn't you teach us this in ninth grade? When I go to a STARS program in Colorado Springs and teach them, and they say, why didn't you teach us this in sixth grade? And the sixth graders say, why didn't you teach us this in fourth grade? Can they learn this? Absolutely. In this whole conference, we're talking about change. Change is uncomfortable because change can elicit in us what? Fear. Oh, that's good. And the only people who like change are wet babies. Jaime Gannat said, I've come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It's my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. Sometimes I think we have to remember in teaching, we're not going to get to everybody. And I torture myself with the kids I don't reach, and I know you guys do too, or you wouldn't be here. But I really believe, and every year that I come to this conference, I get so encouraged because we're all here. And we're all going back and making this impact, and the growth happens exponentially. Together we can dream a new world into reality. And I really believe we're on that path. I really think the next millennium is going to see wonderful things. I'd recommend you take yourself to the edge of what you know and throw yourself off. If it doesn't work, remember it all comes out in the wash. If we don't change anything, kids will probably just grow up about as well as we did. So, however well that are. You are the world. When you transform yourself, the world you live in will also be transformed. When we stop being fearful, it's going to have an amazing impact on everybody we reach. And in this room, look at how many people we reach. Isn't that exciting? Oh, here's one. Sometimes, though, no matter what we do, we lose. It's this. Come on, it's either one or the other. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Let's focus on the exciting things going on, because what we focus on expands. The first day of this year, I'm walking across the school. You know, it's first day of class. Kids are new. They're hugging one another. All, hey, how are you? How was your summer? And this teacher walks across the commons area, and she says, look at all the baseball caps. That's all she saw, baseball caps. She doesn't like them. Here's all these joyous kids and new, you know. What you focus on expands. Let's focus on what's exciting and positive and let it expand. See, I got a lengthy closure. I'm still going. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. You guys are thinking this. And in conclusion, I'm just about there, though, honest. We change the world most effectively by changing our own consciousness. And then my very favorite, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Come to the edge, he said. No, they said, for they were afraid. Come to the edge, he said. No, they said, for they were afraid. Come to the edge, he said. They came. He pushed them, and they flew. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you.